Hello Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for Black Butler, chapter 172. When we last left our heroes, Baldroy and Lau got a taste of exactly how the Athena Sanatorium has earned its rep, with its closer to modern sanitation practices compared to the rest of Victorian England, but much more forceful than we'd expect in the modern day. We met the chief nurse Ada, who seems to be who is, at least on the surface, the one responsible for the miraculous recovery rate at the sanatorium. But we also meet, we find out that the head doctor at the sanatorium is Ronald Knox, the Reaper, who we've not seen since the Campania. So I'm excited to see more of that. I was also a little bit unclear if Baldroy recognizes him from the Campania. We'll have to wait and see. Anyway, let's jump right on into Chapter 172, the Butler Psychosomatic Treatment. And we have Ronald here in his doctor's lab, his doctor's coat with a clipboard. He cannot see their present symptoms, but he can read their future causes of death. So I guess he could technically use that as a doctor. I don't know. I'm kind of curious. I'm curious what the whole setup is here. Anyway. Ronald greets Lau and Baldroy, who's going by Berg at the moment, by the way, in case anyone forgot. Hiya, I'm Dr. Knox. I'll be in charge of Mr. Berg. You must have been surprised by Ada's extremely tough welcome. I was surprised at first, too. Let's work together so you can return to society. And Baldroy just says, sure, and thinks, he looks like a ladies' man. So I'm going to take that to mean that, that Baldroy does not recognize him. Given his thoughts are what he looks like and not who he is, which if Baldroy had met him, he should know. Then Baldroy turns to Lau, and who's this patient? Lau responds, I apologize for not introducing myself sooner. I am Chang, private physician for the Berg family. Repeated deployments has left deep wounds in Mr. Berg's body and mind. I have been using oriental medicine such as acupuncture and qigong. Whenever I see that standalone Q in English spellings of Chinese terms. I'm never quite sure if it's a k or a ch. If anyone knows in the comments, feel free to say it, but I'm going to say Qigong to treat him. And then Ada responds to that. This sanatorium has no need for an outside physician. I must ask you to leave. And Lau tries to push her back, but he is very sensitive. I escorted him at his family's strong request. However, as a fellow physician, I do see your point. It certainly won't help him to have too many cooks in the kitchen. And Baldroy looks at him. So I'm curious, because Lau is very much not a physician. So he might just be saying that as, that's what Ada wants to hear, and, the less Ada questions him, the better, if this investigation is going to work. Also, something that just kind of occurred to me. I've been thinking of how much Baldroy might recognize Ronald. How much would Ronald recognize Baldroy? It's been too long since I've really read any arc with Ron in it, so I'm not entirely sure, but we'll see how that all plays out. Then Lau goes to the door. So I shall excuse myself now. Hey! Wait! Doctor! Don't leave me alone! I don't want to be alone. He, breaks down, presumably an act, playing up the PTSD. I don't want to be alone. I can't do anything alone. When I was in Arizona, all I could do was hold my gun and tremble in fear when I could hear my comrades cry for help. So is he playing an American here? Because given that this is set in the 1880s, 1890s, I don't think the British ever really had a presence as far west as Arizona. For non-Americans, Arizona is in the southwest of the United States, which is farther than European colonization really was, when Britain really had a presence on the continent. So he must be playing an American, presumably in some kind of America's general conquering the native people wars of the time. Anyway, all I could do was hold my gun and tremble in fear when I could hear my comrades cry for help. I couldn't do a thing for Terry when he was suffering in the trench from a poisonous snake bite. Damn it, where the hell are they hiding? And Ron tries to, calm him down. Mr. Berg, calm down. Hey, watch out! And he grabs Knox and, slams him down. Keep your head down! Apache arrows are flying this way. So the Apache is a native tribe. So it's definitely... And I think the bigger question is... Something that just kind of occurred to me. how much is he playing on his own experiences in this character? You know, is this actually... Because I don't think we know Baldroy was a soldier, sure, but I don't think we know where he fought. These are just a bunch of thoughts flying into my head right now. And as he got knocked in his in the trenches hold. Ain't the reinforcements here yet? We've run out of bullets and food. We're finished. And someone, I'm gonna guess Ada, extends a hand to him. Oh no, it's Lau. Calm down, Mr. Berg. You're in Great Britain. Doctor, and Lau hugs him. You'll be fine. You're not alone anymore. And Knox looks at him, and gets up, kind of swaying. Oh dear, he's in serious condition. It's against the rules to allow someone to stay with the patient, but what should we do, Ada? And Ada looks at them for a minute, and then says, let us have Dr. Chang stay here. That would be best if we want Mr. Berg to return to society. What is most important for a patient's recuperation is cleanliness. Not only his body, but his heart as well. And we get this glare from Lau and Baldroy as they're making sure their plan has worked. Which is very on the nose for them. I'm not quite sure that's a smart plan on their part. But Knox just starts celebrating. Okay, Ada's so sweet. And he goes to hug her. I want you to be nice to me too. And then she sprays him with a water spray bottle. And Ada turns to the two of them. We will take Mr. Berg's circumstances into account and permit Dr. Chang to stay with him. Lau responds, Gigi, which I have a note is thank you. I will show you to your ward. Yes. And then Lau says to Baldroy, close enough that they can't be overheard by Ada. Phew. We were saved by a hair's breadth. Master Cook's great acting saved us, as I had no countermeasure prepared when I left the room. Alright, he was just about to give up. And Baldroy is, mind if I punch you once? And so the two of them are led by Ada and Knox to a larger communal hospital room. I'm not sure enough about hospital terminology to say the exact terminology. Mr. Berg will stay in this ward. We see it, and like I said, a bunch of hospital beds all in one large room. And Baldroy looks around. This place is clean inside too. There's no rats or a single fly. And Ada looks at him. Of course not. This sanatorium ward was built according to Miss Nightingale's innovative design. Nightingale, the angel of the Crimea, Florence Nightingale. That's an actual historical person, right? I've definitely heard that name before. She definitely did, 1820 to 1910, according to a quick Google search. I don't really know anything about her, I've just, heard the name before, so hopefully we get some, biographical information here. In 1855, she organized a nursing team that was assigned to field hospitals in the Crimean War. She improved the hygienic environment of hospitals that was so horrid it was called hell. The status of nurses was low in this era, but Nightingale made the world recognize nurses as highly skilled specialists. The use of this era in this, monologue here makes me, my first thought is that this is, Baldroy's thoughts. But the fact that it says this era, I guess the 30-some-odd years that have passed is enough that it could be called this era. But it does seem a little omniscient, a little narrator-esque. Anyway, all for the sake of human lives. People praised her numerous accomplishments by calling her the following names. Yeah, this definitely feels more like a narrator. The lady with the hammer, the lady with the lamp, the mother of modern nursing, and the angel in white. Again, the use of the word modern feels like a omniscient narrator. Anyway, Nightingale, and this is back to Ada. Nightingale may indeed be someone God chose, but there is not a single miracle among her great accomplishments. Large windows that can let in clean air and light, heating equipment that keeps patients' bodies warm, and a communication system that never overlooks a patient's poor condition. She instituted all of this to save patients from infectious diseases and febrile illnesses. She was an excellent nurse, as well as a statistician, sanitarian, and architect. Knox comes over and pats Baldroy on the back. Yep, so you have nothing to worry about. And he's holding a book. Anyone staying at this sanatorium can return to society, even if and we see the pages kind of like flip in a breeze or something. Is the book related to how Shinigami work? It's been a while since we've really delved into the minutiae of Shinigami business. So I don't quite remember. It might be. That might be why we're focusing on it with this, like, ominous border. Even if you will die soon, is what a patient has been told. That's such an awkward way to frame that, Knox! He's just trying to be dramatic. And then someone calls in, Chief Nurse! I finished exchanging the patient's hot water bottles. Layla, good job. And we see this girl in this very nun-like outfit, is how I'd best describe it. Ignoring the 2 ribbons up by the top of her habit. And the fact that the darker parts of her dress look like a lighter shade than you'd expect on a black habit. I don't know. For some reason, light blue is the color that comes to mind. But again, it's in black and white, so I'm just kind of guessing. I finished exchanging the patient's hot water bottles. Layla, good job. And then she notices Baldroy. Oh, are you the patient who is being admitted today? And she curtsies. I'm Layla. Nice to meet you. I will care for you from the bottom of my heart. And I'm looking at that expression from Baldroy. I think it's just confusion a little bit. My first instinct was some kind of overwhelmed by cuteness or something that could be read in a very bad way. But I'm not going to examine that, because that's a dumb reading. A child? Is she about the same age as young master? And then Lau looks at Layla suspiciously. And Layla looks at him. Is something wrong? Is there something on my face? And Lau smiles. No, not at all. Please do take good care of him. To be continued. Okay. So, let's talk about Layla for a bit. Because I think that's kind of the big thing this chapter brings to the table, is Layla. Something's fishy about her. I don't know what, but the way Lau looks at her, there's something suspicious going on, and I don't really know what the angle is with her. Could she somehow... I figure if anyone here is connected to Undertaker's operation, it'd be, someone up top, like Ada. I doubt Nox, but maybe Nox. If Nox is, turned traitor or something. I don't really remember if there is, some connection between, what... If we've seen anything implying a relationship between Nox and Undertaker in the past, because again, we've not seen Nox for a good 100 chapters. But yeah, I mean, I'm trying to remember if if there's even a working theory in place as to how the blood collection is going on here, given that seemingly, unlike the Heathfield Manor where people just went missing, here they seem to be getting better. Unless there's something I've forgotten in the first couple of chapters of this mini-arc. I don't know. So far, though, just looking at this mini-arc compared to the last one is definitely... I'm enjoying it a lot more. It's a lot more interesting. It seems to be moving faster, even though in typical Black Butler fashion, faster just means, not as bone-grindingly slow. But there still is a lot to like here. The existence of this, perfectly clean hospital makes for a really interesting concept. And it seems a bit more believable than, say, Sphere Music Hall's idol industry. This just feels like a small continuation of the state of medicine. I don't know. Larger point being, this chapter may be baby steps, but baby steps is a little harsh. It's not a lot of progression, because no Black Butler chapter has a lot of progression anymore. And maybe if I had not been, so let down by the Heathfield shit, I'd be much harsher on it. But the progress we get is good. The chapter is still moving on at a steady pace. Things are continually progressing, which sounds like damning with faint praise, but I do genuinely enjoy the chapter. There's some great fun. I like the kind of ambiguity of how much of Baldroy's performance to Ada and Nox is an act, and how much of it is diving into his own experiences. Like, I definitely don't think his emotions are genuine, but I feel like his experiences, the experiences he's describing, could be from his own life. Though it's, left ambiguous. And then, yeah, we have this mystery of Layla. And I don't really know. Lau sees something up with her. He denies it, obviously, but he definitely notices something is up with this girl. And I don't know what it could be. So that'll give us something to chew on for until next month. So yeah, that's kind of all I have to say for this video. Hope you all enjoyed the chapter and the video itself. If you did, feel free to drop me a like or subscribe or, do whatever makes you happy, And remember, your life is your own, okay? Bye!